For centuries, monogamy has been the cornerstone of relationships, whispered in vows and celebrated in stories. But in today's rapidly evolving world, where connection takes on countless forms and personal freedom reigns supreme, a provocative question lingers. Is monogamy truly still serving us? Or is it, dare we say, on its last legs? Join us as we strip away the societal expectations and dive into an honest, no-holds-barred conversation. Is monogamy dead? Let's find out. Today we'll talk about, is monogamy dead? Let's have an honest conversation. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. The shifting sands of love and relationships. The concept of monogamy, historically and culturally ingrained as the cornerstone of romantic relationships in many societies, is increasingly facing scrutiny and re-evaluation in the modern era. For centuries, the default assumption for a committed partnership has been exclusivity. Two individuals and only two, forming an intimate bond, emotionally and often physically. This traditional model has been upheld by religious doctrines, legal frameworks, social norms, and even popular media, often presented as the ultimate expression of love and devotion. However, the 21st century has ushered in an unprecedented era of personal freedom, diverse relationship models, and open dialogue about sexuality and intimacy. What was once considered immutable is now being questioned, debated, and in many cases, reimagined. 2. Historical roots and societal constructs of monogamy. To truly understand the contemporary debates surrounding monogamy, it's crucial to delve into its historical and societal underpinnings. Monogamy, particularly serial monogamy, a succession of exclusive relationships, is often presented as a natural human inclination, yet anthropological and historical evidence reveals a far more complex picture. While some argue for evolutionary advantages of pair bonding for raising offspring, many cultures throughout history have practiced and continue to practice various forms of polygamy, polygyny, one man with multiple wives, polyandry, one woman with multiple husbands, or other non-monogamous arrangements. The widespread adoption of monogamy in Western societies can be significantly attributed to a confluence of factors, including the influence of Abrahamic religions that codified it as a moral imperative, and the practicalities of inheritance, property accumulation, and the clear lineage tracking that monogamy facilitated. Legal systems evolved to support and enforce monogamous marriage, granting specific rights and responsibilities to the legally bound couple. 3. The rise of alternatives, polyamory, open relationships, and more. The perceived death of monogamy isn't a sudden demise but rather a gradual erosion of its unchallenged dominance, fueled by the increasing visibility and acceptance of alternative relationship models. Perhaps the most prominent of these is polyamory, which literally means multiple loves. Polyamorous relationships are characterized by the practice of engaging in multiple romantic and or sexual relationships simultaneously, with the full knowledge and consent of all partners involved. Unlike infidelity, which is defined by secrecy and betrayal, polyamory emphasizes honesty, communication, and ethical non-monogamy. Beyond polyamory, a spectrum of open relationships exists, ranging from swinging, where couples engage in consensual sexual activity with other couples or individuals, to open relationships, where partners agree to allow for sexual and or romantic connections outside of their primary dyad, with varying degrees of rules and boundaries. Relationship anarchy takes this a step further, rejecting traditional hierarchies and labels, advocating for relationships to be defined by the individuals involved rather than predefined societal norms. 4. The psychological and emotional landscape. Why people seek non-monogamy. Understanding why individuals are increasingly exploring non-monogamous relationships requires delving into the complex psychological and emotional motivations. One significant driver is the recognition that no single person can realistically fulfill all of another's needs and desires throughout a lifetime. Monogamy, some argue, places an undue burden on one partner to be everything: best friend, lover, confident, intellectual equal, and more. This can lead to feelings of pressure, inadequacy, or unmet desires. For some, non-monogamy offers the opportunity to explore different facets of their personality, sexuality, or emotional needs with different partners, enriching their lives in ways a single relationship might not. Others are driven by a desire for greater personal freedom and autonomy, viewing strict monogamy as restrictive or even stifling. 5. The challenges and complexities of ethical non-monogamy. While offering perceived benefits, ethical non-monogamy is far from a simplistic solution to relational woes. In fact, it often presents a unique set of challenges that require immense emotional labor, self-awareness, and communication skills. One of the most significant hurdles is managing jealousy, a deeply ingrained human emotion that can be amplified when partners explore connections with others. Navigating these feelings requires open and honest dialogue, introspection, and often a re-evaluation of one's own insecurities. Communication, already critical in any relationship, becomes paramount in non-monogamous arrangements. Partners must establish clear boundaries, expectations, and agreements regarding everything from emotional involvement to safe sex practices. This necessitates ongoing conversations, active listening, and a willingness to compromise and adapt. 6. Reimagining commitment beyond sexual exclusivity. One of the most profound shifts in the conversation around monogamy is the decoupling of commitment from strict sexual exclusivity. Traditionally, infidelity was often seen as the ultimate betrayal, signifying a lack of commitment to the relationship. However, as non-monogamous models gain traction, the definition of commitment is being broadened to encompass loyalty, trust, emotional intimacy, shared values, and mutual support, irrespective of whether sexual activity occurs with others. In this reimagined framework, commitment is about the depth and quality of the emotional bond, the dedication to the shared life, and the willingness to navigate challenges together, rather than solely about who a person sleeps with. For many in non-monogamous relationships, fidelity is reinterpreted as fidelity to the agreements, upholding the mutually established boundaries and expectations. 7. The future of relationships, a spectrum, not a binary. The ongoing conversation about monogamy strongly suggests that the future of relationships is not a binary choice between monogamy and non-monogamy, but rather a rich and diverse spectrum of possibilities. As societal norms continue to evolve and individual autonomy gains precedence, people are increasingly empowered to define their relationships in ways that best suit their unique needs, desires, and values. This means that while traditional monogamy will undoubtedly remain a popular and fulfilling choice for many, it will likely coexist with a multitude of other relationship configurations, each with its own advantages and challenges. The trend points towards greater fluidity, openness, and personalization in how individuals approach love and partnership. Future relationships may be characterized by bespoke agreements, continuous negotiation, and a heightened emphasis on consent and communication at every stage. We might see more hybrid models, where couples explore aspects of non-monogamy at certain points in their lives or for specific reasons, while maintaining a fundamentally monogamous structure. Technology will likely continue to play a role in facilitating these diverse connections and conversations. 8. An honest conversation, embracing nuance and choice. So, is monogamy dead? The honest conversation reveals that the answer is far more nuanced than a simple yes or no. Monogamy is certainly not dead in the sense of being extinct or irrelevant. It continues to be the preferred and default relationship structure for a vast majority of people worldwide, offering a sense of security, tradition, and often a simpler framework for navigating life's complexities. For many, the profound intimacy, shared history, and dedicated focus on one partner that monogamy offers are precisely what they seek and find deeply fulfilling. However, what is undeniably shifting is monogamy's unchallenged supremacy and the pervasive societal expectation that it is the only valid or healthy way to form a romantic bond. The conversation has opened up, acknowledging that human beings are diverse in their needs and desires, and that a one-size-fits-all approach to relationships is increasingly untenable. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up. Leave a comment and click the button to subscribe.